You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.
Good afternoon, Polished Women. How are you today? Today we have a very special guest, and I'm excited for her. I met with her for lunch, and I learned so much from her. She has a lot of words of wisdom, and our topic for today is aging gracefully. I don't know how to describe how she's like my idol. Like, you know, she's turning 70. She's beautiful. She doesn't look like she looks like you're like my best friend. Like, it's amazing.
We can still be best friends.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you're like, oh my gosh.
I could be 20. I have lots of best friends that I'm 20 years older than. One of which is my husband.
Yeah. And speaking of husband, oh my gosh, she's been married for 30 years. 30 years being married to a guy that is actually how many?
Well, actually, he was the guitar player in Cher's band. Cher's been my best friend for 47 years.
I know.
And we met. He was the guitar player, and I thought, oh, he's cute, but he's so young. I was 41, and he was 28. So we're not really 20 years apart. We're 13 years apart.
13 years apart.
And
yeah.
I just thought, whatever. And then I spoke with him, and that was it. I haven't gone out with anyone else since.
Wait, how many months did you like stay together?
We were on tour together, and it was October of '91. So we met, and it was kind of a whirlwind courtship because I got pregnant, Jessica. And that's the other thing I didn't think would happen. I thought, oh my God, he's so fabulous. But by the time he figures out that we could work, I won't be able to get pregnant because that ship will have sailed.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
It did.
And now we have a son who's turning 26.
Yeah, but tell them about, you know, like how friends would be like, are you sure you want to marry? You know, remember you told me after a few years?
Well, the funny thing is that we felt nothing different. Of course, Cher and I have been best friends, and we all know that Cher kind of paved the way for having young boyfriends back when it wasn't quite as acceptable. You didn't see it as much. But, you know, once we were together, people said, oh, what are you going to do when you turn 50 and he's 37? And I said, I don't know, I guess the same thing I did when I was 41. And then as I grew older, when I turned 60, everybody said, he's going to be 47. And I thought, so what? And now that I'm turning 70, you know, it's the same thing. And actually, I don't know how this happened. Maybe it was good for me to stay young by marrying a younger man. But I don't know what happened because now we look like we're the same age, sort of.
Oh my God. So remember, for you women out there who are, you know, at age 40 or 50, and if you meet someone who's younger, don't be embarrassed.
I tell everyone. As a matter of fact, Cher had a hairstylist who I told the same thing to, and the same exact thing happened to her. She was pushing this fabulous guy away because of his age. And I said, you know what, if it's meant to be, it'll all work out. You don't have to think about things that are organic. They just are. It works.
It works.
And nobody can tell you a set of rules that'll determine how you should live your life on anything. And so they're still together, and now it's been 8 years.
Oh wow! See?
And
does she look like you? Like, is she like
Morgan is French, so she looks fabulous. She looks way better than me. I mean, I don't see myself like that. I just, I mean, when we met the other day for breakfast, that was me with my cat and my wild hair, and I'm a little more polished for the polished woman today.
You're crazy.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I love that. She's so polished. So speaking of age, what is really the secret of you know, aging gracefully? I mean, we all know that there are lasers, there are a facelift or stuff that
There's
you do,
everything,
or injection. But I'm telling you, she doesn't. She told me straight, and I know when a girl does someone to her face, I know you can see it because they change. Like all of a sudden, like, oh, you look like a guy. Like it's different, but I see it.
You know what?
Yeah.
I have nothing against anything. For me, it was a choice. Every time I would think, I want to do this, like I do put Botox on my forehead. That's the one thing I do.
Yeah.
But when I see things gone wrong,
Yeah.
it makes me a little bit nervous. Like,
Yeah.
of course, there are things that I want to change that have changed, but I have this kind of crazy saying. I always say, I'd rather look great for my age than bad for a lie. I don't want to look like I'm trying to be something I'm not.
Oh, that's so good. I want to say
And
that.
I would never make up a different age. I'm proud to
You should be
still
proud.
have life force and be vital and working out and traveling the world and having fun and doing all the crazy thing and working out and just staying hip.
Yeah.
Up
She works
on
out every day with
trends
Cher.
and up on trends and music and I know a lot about things that maybe is crazy for me to know about. Like I know about like websites and Instagram accounts, and I'm like really active on my Instagram.
She is actually. When my friend told her about me, she was like, Jessica, there is this girl that absolutely looks gorgeous. She should be on your show. And I was like, okay, and showed me, wow, she's active on Instagram. She is very active. Thank you so much, and thank you for responding right away.
We're gonna have to get a picture so
I
I can
know,
put
so
you on
I
here
know.
and get you some listeners.
I know.
I'll tag you.
You'll tag me. I know. Is there any? I know that you work out every day with Cher, right? Max, she told me the stuff that they do every single day, and it's
We
hard.
have to. That's the key.
Yeah.
We skipped over this, but I'm going to say this out loud.
Yeah.
The key to growing old and gracefully is just how you accept it. You know what I mean? If you
Wow.
Cher's mom, who's 93 and looks fabulous, I showed you her
Really?
picture. Didn't I show you?
No,
yet?
you didn't.
Oh my God, her
Remember it was-
hair is all real. And she said, if you don't pay attention to your age, it won't pay attention to you.
Wow.
And well, of course, Cher does it.
Did
Nobody
you
can
hear that?
limit you by things like age anymore. Nobody can limit you by your race, your nationality, your sexual choice, your anything.
Yeah.
We're all free to make our own choices.
Wow.
So our thing is, it's really not just a saying, but it's true. If you don't move it, you'll
Yeah.
lose it. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Because every day we get up, I walk my dogs about 4 or 5 miles first thing in the morning. Then I drive to Cher's house in Malibu. I just drive over the hill.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's our trainer, and
Yeah.
we just kind of go through everything. We change the cardio up. Sometimes we're doing Zumba. Sometimes we're jumping on a trampoline. We're
I
working
know that.
on the power
I want to
play.
buy a trampoline now.
And Cher's the queen of the plank. She can do a 5-minute
That's
plank.
what I-
Not
can you
right this
imagine?
minute, but it was literally
5
in
minutes.
her show, like in her monologue, that she did a 5-minute plank.
I can't
for
even
real.
do 1 minute. How can she do 5
Jessica,
minutes?
you can. I can do 2 minutes, so you can do. You can do a lot more. You just don't do them. But
I
we
know.
do it on the power plate.
Yeah, I know. I do it on
With
the power
our-
plate. I
with
know.
our feet
I
on the
know.
Bosu ball.
Yeah, that power plate. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Whoever invented that power plate.
Well, shouldn't you tell everybody what a power plate is?
I know. Okay, power plate is that. What do you call that?
It's
like
a
one
piece of
it's a
equipment
piece
in
of-
the gym.
Yeah,
And it
it
vibrates.
vibrates you.
So you're doing the actual exercise to get the effect,
Yeah.
but it makes your body
burns-
go
it burns.
5,000 times per minute
Yes, yeah.
more because it's vibrating,
vibrating,
you
yeah.
while you're doing the exercise, whether you're doing squats or lunges,
lunges.
or
Even what do you call that?
releve, stomach, ab
stomach
work.
ab
We do
works
our
and
ab
stuff.
work.
Apparently, they say that they use this to have, you know, when you in NASA, it started in NASA.
Yes.
They use this for what do you call that, for astronauts who are you know, going to go to the
Weightless
space and
yes.
weightless and stuff. And so now we're like all using it. It's insane.
It's really a good piece of equipment, and I am much lazier than Cher is. She's the one. That's another thing. You have to have a buddy to meet in the gym, or to call you up when you're down and trying to get out of it, who'll say, come on, let's do this, and you do it for them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we do. We have a buddy system. If I don't show up, she'll call me and go, where are you? Get your butt over here. And unless it's something really good, then I just go.
Yeah.
But now it's a habit. It's like anything you do. It's like getting up and drinking coffee. You get the high from your morning caffeine buzz, and then you get the high from working out. And if you have a friend, it really helps, because then you can laugh about what pain you're in the next day or whatever. It makes it more fun.
That's so cute. So wait, speaking of her, how did you guys, speaking of Cher, how did your friendship, I'm amazed with your friendship, 46 years.
7, but who's
47,
counting?
yeah. I know, who's counting? How did you guys meet? How did you guys meet? And then, you know, were there ups and downs in your friendship? You know, I mean, I had friends as well, and we have ups and downs. But
we're girls.
Yeah,
of course
I know.
we do. Girls just have things. And in 47 years of friendship, have we had stuff? Yes. But do we always come back to exactly where we were? Yes. Because nobody's ever crossed any lines, even if we've had a difference. And usually it involves, always it involves a guy. Always it's involved a bad relationship, or somebody said something about the other person. But just to go back, my dad was in the CIA. I was raised all over the world. I lived in Africa. I lived in Beirut, Lebanon. I lived in Athens when I was in junior high and high school. And I just had wanderlust from the beginning of my life on. So when I got to high school and I was looking at colleges, I also fantasized. I thought, oh, I want to marry an Ivy League guy, because I was really lame and I didn't really know what I wanted, but I just was trying to buy into some picture, rosy picture. So I went to college in Massachusetts on the North Shore, Endicott. It was more like a finishing school for girls that could be equidistant from all the Ivy League schools. And all of a sudden I found myself with a boyfriend who played football at Brown. And A, I hated cold winters. B, I hated preppy clothes, which is what everybody was wearing then. C, Ivy League guys were boring. And so that summer I went to live in Virginia Beach, which was near Washington, D.C., where my parents lived.
Surfers.
And, yes, and I met surfers who were my first musicians. And so then I started traveling with the Hobie surf team, and then I'd come back and I'd work. I modeled in Washington, then I'd go to Europe with my girlfriend, trying to think of something else, because they were surfing. I was in a bikini all day long making cornbread from scratch. I wasn't really living my life. I was 19, 20, and I needed more. So I came home from my girlfriend's wedding, and Sonny and Cher, this is 1972, June of 72.
Wow.
Sonny and Cher were playing at a place called Shady Grove Music Fair. They were #1 TV musical variety show. And I was backstage with my girlfriend, who married the son of the owner of the place, and Cher came in with Chaz and her child, and she was standing by the goldfish and M&M bowls backstage and catering, and she took a look at me and she goes, "Who are you? You don't look like anybody here." Because I had hair down to my ass, and it was all wavy, and I had on a black tank top and bell bottoms and a gold chain, and everybody else in the meet and greet room to meet Sonny and Cher was like a congressman's wife, and they're very conservative and like uptight.
Prim and proper.
So she automatically noticed me, and she said, well, you know, do you know anything about shopping here in Washington? I go, yeah, I'm from here. It's really kind of straight, but you can go to Georgetown. Yeah. And she goes, well, why don't you come to my hotel tomorrow and take me? I went, oh, wow. Okay. Because I wasn't like a fan already. Yeah. My mother went crazy. And so after disappointing her grievously for many years, because I quit college and I was with surfers, and she didn't know what was going to happen to me. I was 21, turning 22, with no visible means of support in sight, AKA rich husband. She just went, you met Sonny and Cher? Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. You just go, 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 go. Yeah. And then Cher asked Sonny if I could come on tour. Yeah. We went to New York, and from that first week, we went shopping together every day. Yeah. And then shortly after that, Cher left Sonny, and then we married guys in the Allman Brothers band at the same time, which was in 1975.
So you both married? Oh, okay.
She married Gregg Allman and had Elijah, and we met them in 75. But between when I met her in 72 and she met him in January of 75, in those couple years, you know, we were traveling the world with her sister and going to Paris and just partying our butts off. We were at everybody from Rod Stewart's to Led Zeppelin's to Bob Dylan's parties.
She had a good
we
life.
Were backstage at everything every night, and looking really cute too. Yeah. So then when she met Gregg at the Troubadour, he was sitting in with Etta James. Yeah. They started dating, and I was dating Mark Hudson from the Hudson Brothers at the time. The Hudson Brothers were like the Jonas Brothers in the day. Bill Hudson is Kate Hudson's dad. Yeah. Kate and Oliver Hudson's dad. And then there's Brett and Mark. Yeah. Mark was my boyfriend, and I received my first broken heart. He cheated on me with a dancer somewhere, so I was all upset. So Gregg Allman, who was with Cher, and Cher said, that's it. You're coming to New York with us. The Allman Brothers have a huge outdoor concert, and we're going to introduce you to Dickie. And I didn't know what that meant, but I went. And oh my God. So then I married Dickie. She's married to Gregg. They're in the same band. We're best friends, but I was her assistant. It was so incestuous, and they were both doing drugs. Only Gregg did down drugs, and Dickie got drunk and did cocaine, so nobody was getting along. And remember how I said that men were usually the reason why we take a little time out? Yeah. That was one of them.
That was one of them.
That was the first one.
Oh my gosh. And then you guys rekindled,
Of course. Always. Yeah. She sent me the biggest bowl of floating gardenias, because it's both of our favorite flowers, from when my son was born. Yeah. And that was the beginning of getting back together. And then I went with her to Saint-Tropez while I was married, but he didn't really like me hanging out with her, because she meant instinctively he knew she had more control over me than he did.
Okay. Wow.
So he did not like us together. And in the end, she was with me at my house in Florida the night I left him. And that was a set of other things that one chalks up as one of the greatest stories in the worst times of your life. The exit stage left.
Wow. But then you also had a business, right?
After the divorce, I had a really close friend who was married to the quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. And they would come down to Sarasota when the season was over, football season in Philly. And she said, why don't we start a clothing business? Because we both got a divorce right at the same time. And when I was married, I didn't work. I worked for Cher before I got with Dickie. So we started a clothing company, and it was a women's clothing line. And we both always, my background was fashion, and she's an artist.
Okay.
And so we started a women's clothing line, and we just went to the Miami Fashion Mart, and it all of a sudden got really big. Like department stores
huge, her
were
business.
buying stuff for, you know, like 30 stores.
Yeah.
And we were having a hard time keeping up because you have to come up with the capital.
Yeah.
And then, as luck would have it, we got bought out by a huge entertainment merchandising company.
Can you imagine?
Because
I know.
John Bon Jovi got a hold of one of our shirts that we had sent free shirts to the wives, but he cut it up, ripped it up, and wore it on the MTV Music Awards, and he came flying out over the audience singing Living on a Prayer in our shirt.
Wow.
And then the company that did their merchandise bought us out, and all we had to do was design for rock stars. So that was good.
Amazing. See, she had a good life. Can you say that you have a good?
I can honestly say I've had a great life, and I don't take it for granted that happiness is. I mean, Pollyanna was my role model when I was 10 years old. She played the Glad game. It was a Disney character. Do you know that?
Who's that?
Pollyanna is a Disney movie. You have to know it.
Yeah.
She was an orphan, but she always found something to be glad about. And when I was 10 years old, I went, I'm going to do that. I'm going to always be that. And that's, you know, I always find my happy no matter what happens.
I know, she seems so like really, really nice. And, okay, we're almost done. Okay, can you just talk to all these women the secret for a happy life and aging gracefully? Just like a good word of wisdom for everyone.
Well, to me, it comes down to, would I rather be right or happy? And sometimes when you find yourself in an argument that causes more strife, I just let go. If it's not worth the fight, I just let go. It doesn't really matter, did we go in August or we went in December, or, you know, who picked up the tab, or I don't know, silly things that every day people have problems. And I really work on not having them. And if anybody comes into my life that's negative, I learned, I'm going to say it took a long time, but by the time I was in my early 50s, I just, there are a couple people in my life that were just negative energy, and you hear it and it's overused as a term, but to stay happy, you know, be true to yourself, be conscientious, and surround yourself. A monk in the Self-Realization Fellowship told me this once, and it's the truth. The 5 people you spend the most time with in your life, you are the average of. So make sure your top 5 are really good people.
Wow, I love that. Oh my gosh. Aren't you glad I invited her on the show? I knew it. I knew. Thank you so much, Paulette. Thank you so much for being on the show, taking your time out of your workout with Cher.
I put her on a plane last night, so I'm good.
Thank you so much. And don't forget, Paulette, give love to the next person that you're going to see after watching this show. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you next week.
Jessica.